All right, let's skip ahead. Wolfsburg against the champs, Barcelona. This one's going down Wednesday, 1:45 p.m. Eastern. We just saw Wolfsburg, kind of fall to this Bayern side. We've been tracking, Barcelona for the better part of a couple of years here. Where's the first place? I mean, obviously this is a very imbalanced matchup, probably the most imbalanced of the four. Where that's kind of where I stand. What are you going to be looking for? Maybe from Wolfsburg or from Barcelona. Where's the first place your eyes are going to lock in on this one?
I think it's got to be like you got to have a Beerenstein game. I think. Mm-hmm. I mean, just to even have hope to stay in it. They couldn't beat Mahmudovic, which I guess, or Mahmudovic, pardon me, which we didn't talk about much when we talked about Bayern, but she looked great in goal against Wolfsburg, and they just couldn't beat her. So they need to take care of their chances. Alex Pop in that Bayern match, a lot of talking to the refs, which I know is not new for Alex Pop. I've kind of come to figure that out over the last few years. But you're just not going to have any room for that against Barcelona. The margin for error is already tiny. We talk about it every time we talk about Barcelona. You can't be yelling at the refs up and down the field. You have to be 1,000,000,000% locked in at all times if you're going against Barcelona. And even if you have a tiny chance of winning. I think this one could get ugly late because I don't want to disrespect Wolfsburg too much. I think they obviously have a talented squad, but this might be one of those ones where the scoreline stretches after the 75th minute.
I agree with you on that, and we'll see what kind of lineup Romeo rolls out for Barcelona. When you look at this Wolfsburg side, one thing that's sneaky interesting about their lineup, this is a young team. Their average age for the last matchup against Bayern was 26 years old. And that's including the three senior players, Alex Pop, 33, Sven Juhut, 34, and Lenneth Beerenstein, 28. So those are your three vets that are over 25. Everybody else is 25 and under. And they've got a bunch of 22s and 23s on that side. When you look at Wolfsburg defensively as well, you need Aminga, Sarai Linder, Caitlin Dijkstra struggled against Bayern, unfortunately, and either Vivian Endemann's probably got a drop or Lynn Wilms on the other side. They're going to have their hands full for sure against Barcelona. I don't want to say they're necessarily in real trouble, but if they struggle to kind of contain that Bayern side, I think Barcelona's going to come in, and there's a good chance there's going to be Wolfsburg heads just spinning, trying to keep up with that Barcelona attack.
Yeah, I think that's a great call. You're spot on. Lost my place in my notes. This is why we don't do the show live all the time. You're right on about Caitlin Dijkstra and James Thorogood, who is very quickly becoming one of my favorite announcers in football.
Our guy,
absolutely, our future pal, because we're going to get him on the show at some point if he's kind enough to join us. He was not shy about Caitlin Dijkstra kind of falling asleep on one of those goals, which, it's just what happened. And I think Dijkstra has comported herself pretty well over the course of the season. But if you do that against Barcelona, it's like a 99% chance they'll convert. And then you cannot play behind the eight ball against them.
Yeah, because it's, they're not going to give up much on the other side either. With Mapi and Torrejon and, just kind of like what they're set up. And then even Katakoi, super experienced, World Cup experience, Champions League winning experience as a keeper. So if you do somehow get all the way past, Katakoi is a big game keeper. Like you just trust her. I mean, shot stopping, she's right up there with some of the best. There's a reason why she's just kind of like sharping into that position for them. And then Barcelona just on the attack, like whether it's like, I don't know, Eva Paior facing her old club where she played 8 seasons, 96 goals, 121 appearances during her time at Wolfsburg. You look at what she's been able to do for Barcelona, 16 goals, 18 appearances. So she's cooking. Sydney Schertenleib, the 18-year-old.
Come on.
Against Tenerife. She had the highest FOTMOB rating, 8.9 for an 18-year-old in a proper Liga F match. I mean, that's wild. And they start her on the left, Vicky Lopez on the right. Think of just how much youth that is.
Yeah.
How much big time experience those players are gaining. So as players age out, I mean, they're just developing. They're doing it so intelligently from a personal standpoint. I think since I've been watching Barcelona, yes, they're loaded, but I feel like every match there's one or two. You could never predict their lineup, I feel like, and I think that in a tournament like this is really going to pay dividends.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great point about their lineup. I mean, I think in the Tenerife match, Aitana Bonmati, two-time Ballon d'Or winner, comes in to start the second half. Okay, cool. That's great. I feel great about that. And the player she replaced, Alexia Putellas, who scored the opening goal. So it's just I don't know what you even do with this lineup. You're so right about Schurtenleib. She had 2 assists in that match. Could have had 3 if another chance had got put away. She has been absolutely on fire recently, and it's just another nuclear weapon that this team has that they're just able to deploy as they see fit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, super excited to see what Barcelona looks like and see how they kind of get warmed up, because you think about that attack, whoever it is on the wings, Bariuelo, CGH, or the youngins. I mean, as they stretch out that Wolfsburg defense, that's going to leave space for either an Aitana in the middle, Batri, Pina, or Pai, or even worse, farther upfield. I think they're going to have this. They're going to. I don't know. We can make a prediction now. I think I'm with you. I think it does get a little ugly. I'm going to go. Oof. I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm going to do it. This is where my heart's at. I think it's 5-0 Barcelona. I think it's a proper smashing.
Okay, I like it. And nothing against Wolfsburg. I just like the pick. I'm also going to predict 5 goals. I'll say 4-1 Barcelona. I think Wolfsburg gets one at home, but I don't think the result's ever in doubt.
Yep, I like that. All right, so some good alignment there. The alignment continues. And shout out to everybody rocking with us. Toros, who mentioned Gulshan. Blue, you already know. Carlo, you already know. Those are our guys. Casey Flip and Fold, welcome to the party. Not a name I recognize, but you already know. According to Casey Flip and Fold, we rock with you guys in Kansas City, Casey, baby. We rock with Casey as well. Great NWSL squad. Pretty decent barbecue. So you already know what time it is.
That's my NWSL championship pick. So, and it's honestly Kansas City, Missouri is a city that I have not been to in the United States of America that I absolutely want to go to. And the atmosphere in their home stadium makes me want to go there even more. And now that we have the KC Flip and Fold cosign, we got to figure out a way to get out there eventually. So, yeah, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I passed through Kansas City, spent one night there, hit a jazz club, some good food. Rock, spent, I don't know, 18 or so hours there. Very cool vibe, very unique vibe. So hopefully, nice. I don't know, hopefully our foray into women's football, takes us there at some point. Toros in the chat. I think Wolfsburg's hopes are with a doing it for Stroot approach mentality. There's a lot of motivating factors in this world. Doing it for Stroot, I don't know, maybe not in the top 10,000 of motivating factors. Or maybe maybe there's some interesting Stroot stuff that I'm not sure about. Maybe I hope he doesn't have some terrible disease and now I just look like a total ass. But either way, I don't think it's going to matter. I think Barcelona does what they do and heads back to Spain with a healthy lead.
I believe he is leaving Wolfsburg at the end of the season. Toros, please correct us if we're wrong here. I think that's what's happening, and maybe that's why they would do it for Stroot. But yeah, you gotta have some kind of motivation going in there. It's just when you look across the field and there's Putellas and Bonmati and Mappy Leon, Eva Payor, it's Selma Bariuelo. It's okay, we got to do it for somebody. Let's try.
All right, so we'll watch that one. And now the big one. Manchester City versus Chelsea.